When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now they only come but once a month. I love the wind here.
Some sort of freelancer?
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies. Just my luck. I ask for backup and the boss sends me one of them simple folk. All right. Listen real close. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant, clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the resistance? I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Saw tuna cans, mostly, some Spacer's chaw, a few bit cards. I'll reward you for your aid. Enlistment fees. Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the Resistance a bad name. They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back. Mechanicals got a weak spot in their midsections. I think the technical term is, Go on. I'm Ludwig Miller, unofficially, strictly between you and me. Go on. You ever seen the way a mechanical just stands there? Just pray to the law that first they will rob us of our jobs, and once they have taken away our lives,
What?
He's working at the cannery.
Come for a visit? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory. You talk too pretty for a marauder. Most of them ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of... Got a knack for being discreet-like? There's money. Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their due. 4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want... He just is. Look, I don't want to get... Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a... You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. Yeah? You could look at it that way, I suppose. You could look at us and say, those Edgewater saps lost... But you'd be wrong. We're survivors. Every now and again, a virulent plague... Hang on, I'm doing some math in my head. Work's been real good to me. Former people, yeah. Marauders been raiding my graves, you see. Oh no. They are after the most precious loot. If those marauders swipe any more...
That's the last of them. If I'd been able to get out here, I so would have stripped this for parts.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Intruders are not authorized to access the unreliable Marauder. Please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health. Please be advised that using the respecification machine will not make you a better person. Marauder, please be informed that the engine room contains nothing of value. All doors are on security lockdown. Nice try, Marauder. Marauder, please be informed the ship has no crew for you to murder.
Easy.
Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. Gesture procedures initiated. Please engage in airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time. The navigation console is offline at this time, Captain.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, ma'am, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. I'll waive your fee since you helped us with those marauders. If you're looking for work, talk to the constable down in Edgewater. She's got a bounty on marauders. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Day at the cannery.
Don't go knocking your work. At least we've got work.
What can I do for you? Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor? You may think that, but the tidiness of my fellow worker is my responsibility. Whether you're showing up to work or going to that a ship? Dear me. You seem to have lost the ability. I don't approve of fantasizing. It's a dreadful habit. And he allowed you to wander around town spreading your pernicious fantasies about... Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions. As broke as pie crust, friend. Bidless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body. Thank you, no. I despise the series. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of the law, and through my own hard work, frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place. Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. You know about Eugene? How? Then, you know Phyllis suggested selling off Eugene's gold teeth. I didn't approve of the idea then, and I don't approve of it now. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. That's unthinkable. Eugene's body and all rare earth minerals contained therein are solely the property. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth.
Are you asking rhetorically? Because if you're being serious... Ugh, gross.
Desperate measures, Miss Holcomb. Desperate measures. I'm going to have to ask Silas to dig up those teeth. It's the only way I'm paying my gravesite fees. The good Vicar Maximilian and I have never quite seen eye to eye, but your point is well taken. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU.
Wish we had some better.
Somebody's been spinning a tale about a lost colony ship. Talk like that'll get you reported. Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. If you're not familiar with board law, you ought to be. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant... Shame, though. Eugene was a good... Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding... Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's choice... Not half as awful as the bill Eugene left us with. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself... When one of your workers commits a crime, the entire town pays for it. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's choice. Well, excuse you. I'll have you know, Eugene was an asset to us all. May his atoms be commended to the law. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace.
think corporate's ever gonna visit?
Had your rations yet?
Yep. 2 whole cans of salt tuna.
I've never actually been in here. Seemed scary from the outside.
Welcome to the Spacer's Choice Constabulary. We are Halcyon's leading brand in frontier justice. The office is writing up promotion. Purchase 3 criminal investigations and the 4th one's free. As a Spacer's Choice Constable, I am authorized to grant you legal authority toward apprehending wanted criminals. Know how to carry yourself in a fight? I've got bounties out for these 3 marauders. Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just 1 per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller. As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity. His likeness decorates many a wanted poster. Do you have any relevant information? Mm-hmm. Shot you into space. You know, lying to a Spacer's Choice Constable... Unfortunately, the arrest of Mr. Wells falls outside my authority. Wells is wanted by the board. If you have information related to the location of Phineas V. Wells, you are required... Any information regarding outstanding bounties and wanted criminals should be directed to Mr. Udom Bedford. Mr. Bedford's... Halcyon's original colony ship, now repurposed into a space station. Mr. Udom Bedford represents the board's interest on the groundbreaker. Something else I can do for you? As long as you're... If this is a setup to a joke, you should know I've never found anything amusing in my life. I don't serve Edgewater. Edgewater and the entire region of Emerald Vale serves Spacer's Choice. Spacer's Choice is a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Defense Logistics, which occupies a seat on the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, also known as the Board. I must admit it bothers me. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. The bureaucracy is a noble profession, but not all of us are gifted enough to serve in it. Something to...
I've been feeling pretty low these days.
What the boss? Catch it, Sam.
Wonder if the plague's ever gonna...
You ought to go have a talk with the boss. Read tops. Music to my... It's not the best.
Heard something outside the walls today.
Nothing for us.
Wonder if the plague's ever gonna...
Yes, Mr. Thompson. I'm fine, Mr. Thompson. Never been healthier. Oh, sweet merciful law. A marauders... There a reason you're running around outfitted like one of those monsters? Did Mr. Thompson send you to put the fear... Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. Because I'm definitely... You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's own domicile, pestering him? You don't know that. I could have been saying anything. Maybe I said vague. You know how words sound to mites. Wait! No! Oh, damn it. Okay, listen. She'll toss me in the sick house. I would have confessed before the good vicar. Get some ablutions for my spirit. Just never... Hey, you're hale and healthy and possibly for hire, ain't... Couple hours out of your day and some light second-story work. There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in. I'll do what I can. I tried medicating myself with adrenatime. Didn't do... Anyway, I can't just buy medicine. Distribution of medicine is... More like the company won't treat me. You will not find any guards within sight of... I have it on good authority. There's a gang of them. So... You... Just keep your head down when you're in... And Reed would have wrote me up. Constable would have locked me up and wrote me up. Could have gone to see the good vicar, but... Silas knows, doesn't he? That's what... Look, I got my gravesite fees right here. See? I'm good for my word. Get me...
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy.
bring us honor. I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Mechanical?
Lovely to see you about, Miss Parvat.
Things going all right, Silas?
Been keeping him careful and true. Best to ask her.
My dad's buried here. Silas watches over him when I can't leave the house. Oh.
Something I can... You run into any trouble? Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to. And I'll buy you a drink. Oh, suppose you've earned it. One good turn deserves... Abernathy was sick? With the plague? I needed his fees because of his name. A for Abernathy. He was a...
Aw, he ain't no threat. But I could fix him up smart.
Searching for repair bay. Error. Navigation.
I could probably fix that. I mean, if... Take your time. You need help, just give a yell.
Damage to navigation systems detected. Attempting. Navigation systems have determined this location, attempting to misdirect or confuse a...
Yep, I see the problem. His nav mod got dislodged. Must have taken a tumble. Just gotta give it a good... There we go. Jeremy's good as new. Well, new by Spacer's Choice standards anyhow.
Navigation systems operational. Optimal path toward repair bay detected. Initiate.
I don't reckon Jeremy...
Spacer's Choice reminds all colonists that serving the Spacer's Choice family...
Be more careful.
Send this quick!